the audio fine? Can you all hear me? Can you all see me? Is there any lag? I want to know if there's any lag or if there's any audio trouble before I start, because there were quite a few complaints yesterday about it. So today we're going to be talking about mental health on eConnect, and I'm glad to see so many of you here today, and this is going to be a very interesting episode for us, because there was a lot of questions that were asked, and there are a lot of questions that were based on your previous experiences or things that situational stuff. So I am not quite sure if those questions would be helpful, and I have tried to put them together in categories where I'm going to be asking Shweta ji about all of these concerns, and I think I will add her now. I have sent a request.
Hi, Erika.
Hi, how are you, Shweta ji?
Yeah, all good. Hi to your viewers also.
Everyone saying hi.
Yes.
So there were a lot of questions that I kind of, was going through when I put out the post. And a lot of them were, I think, situational. So we don't really know what is going on in their lives. So I'm not sure how well would those questions help here for you to address those issues. So I have kind of put a few things together that a lot of people, kind of were asking about. And first thing that they wanted to know, what is the difference between a psychologist and a psychiatrist?
Yeah. I get this a lot. Psychiatrists, they prescribe medicines and we don't.
Okay.
We just do counseling, therapy. They actually have to study MBBS and then they go for MD psychiatry, right? Wherein we do graduation and then post-graduation in counseling.
Okay. So
we
how
don't,
does this
basically we
help?
don't prescribe drugs, and they prescribe drugs, medicines.
Okay. So here
That
we're
is the
just
difference.
talking and trying to get out things from people, right? So that's how we solve things in So counseling
So
and trying to
if
talk
you
to
want to
people.
know what counseling is all about, then counseling is where if they want to know what counseling is all about, then I can kind of elaborate that counseling it's a process where two people, a counselor and a client, they sit together and they build rapport, because you can't really start talking about the issues first. And so they build rapport and they sit together and they set the goals, that what I want, what is my priority, what do I want to kind of understand first. Okay, and then we see the effectiveness of it, and then we evaluate whether it is helping. So that is counseling, right? So when you talk about psychiatry, then they prescribe drugs.
And you've had 21 years of experience counseling. 21 years is a lot. So I'm really excited for this one, because there are so many questions and I am waiting to hear these answers, because 21 years of experience is like, I'm just actually too excited for all of this now. And what are the topics that you consult on?
Oh, there are various.
So,
I was with a college, for 11 years, and my focus was
oh,
16 plus students. So you can imagine, from
yeah.
relationship breakups to, kind of depression, anxiety, and
Mhm.
lots of issues they were facing at home.
Right,
Somebody was there in the college because their parents wanted them to be there,
right,
especially science team, right?
right.
So lots of things and many more which I cannot discuss, but lots
Mhm.
of things which are teenager or a
Right.
youth face, these
Yeah,
days, drug
yeah.
issues, right,
Yes.
and drinking
Right,
addictions,
right,
okay,
right.
love affairs, and so it was 11 years with
So,
them, and
sorry. Continue.
no, no, yeah, that's yeah. So it was a very, very
So,
good learning experience for me too. With youth
I'm
and with
sure.
youngsters. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So right now, the main issue being COVID and this whole pandemic,
yeah,
where people are trying to cope up with a lot of things, and we are surrounded
yeah.
so much with so much of negative news all the time. Even if we
Yes,
do not want to look at it, it is literally just thrown at us because you open social
yes,
media, you have negative news, you switch on the
yes,
TV, people
yes.
are talking about deaths. So, I mean,
Absolutely.
a lot of this has created stress, it has created anxiety among so
I
many
know.
people, right? From teenagers to
Yes,
youngsters to
I know.
middle-aged people or even older
I know.
people. And how
Yes,
do we cope up with such things and how do we deal with anxiety?
I know. I know. Erika, it's been 1.5 years. It's
Yes,
not something which was recent. It's 1.5 years.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
so many things we are watching on TV, we are reading about it. So
Hmm.
I myself, today only in the newspaper, one clinical psychologist has written that
Hmm.
she's on and off, she's meeting people and she's talking to them. She's so traumatized, and she had to take a step back. A clinical
Hmm.
psychologist, she had to take a step back and reinvent herself. That how to deal with all these things. So I can totally
Right.
understand the viewers, writing that they are stressed. There is anxiety, there is stress, but there is a choice which we all make. What do we want
Hmm.
to see and how much we want that to affect us? That is important.
Hmm.
That is
Correct.
important. And that's what even we do. We step back. We take a
Hmm.
step back, filter our news. We see what
Hmm.
is healthy and we see what is not healthy also, but in a moderation, you
Moderation.
know. So that, yeah, so that,
Right.
we keep ourselves and mental health healthy. Otherwise, there are so
Yeah.
many things happening,
True, true. So
right?
it depends on us what we choose to see and what we choose
Yes,
to
so
do
it's
to
our
ourselves
choice.
eventually.
It is our choice. It is our choice, what to choose, what we can choose, what to do. Of course, see, sometimes, it's right out there in front of you. You can't really choose, but at least, you can
Because
just,
it's artificial intelligence knows your weakness and tries to put out
yes,
things there so
yes,
that you see more.
exactly. Exactly the point. That's exactly my point. So it is our choice. Choice people make, how much to see, what to filter out, and how much to believe.
Mhm.
That's the thing.
And what
That's
about anxiety? How do we deal with anxiety? What can we do to
these
not
are
get so
tough
anxious
times.
or
Yes, yes, yes. I know. So what you need to do is you inculcate habits of meditation. Habit of,
hmm,
one thing which would work, like everybody's talking about meditation and breathing exercises. I would say that you do visualization. Now, what is that? You,
hmm,
if you like something, mountains or say seaside or something, you sit, close your eyes in a very quiet corner, because in Mumbai there is no space. So I will not say you go in a room.
right?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you go to a corner, whichever corner you're comfortable, go there
Hmm.
and visualize something which you like. You know, a seashore, seagulls, flying and shit, everything. You can
True.
visualize actually. You can
And
keep your
even
anxieties
music,
away.
such music, whatever you are
Music is a
visualizing, the
therapy.
music also, it'll
Yes,
add to it.
yes, 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 yes. So there is
There is
everything. There is
something,
there is exercise. There is breathing exercises. There is meditation. There's visualization. There's music. Now, music as a
right,
therapy, people are using.
right.
So yeah, and youngsters today, they are too much into music. right? They love music,
Right, right.
Spotify and everything, So I think they
Yeah.
must.
And something that I personally practice is doing sleep meditation. Like before I go off to sleep,
Mm-hmm,
I put on my guided
mm-hmm.
meditation, and that
Okay,
helps me relax. So there are a lot of people who
that's
have
wonderful.
also asked with their sleep concerns,
Yes,
insomnia, and the anxiety that is troubling them, which is resulting to
right,
lack of
right.
sleep, and they're not being able to do all of this.
Correct,
So,
correct, correct.
something that I practice is guided sleep meditation. And
Yes,
another thing
yes,
I practice, like apart from what you said, is doing meditation and yoga and music and all
yes,
of that.
yes,
Every evening, I try and make it a practice that I light a candle in every room because it gives me that
yes,
positive
yes,
energy and vibe.
yes, yes. True. I agree.
It
I
just
agree.
it just a nice fragrant candle I light, and it just makes me feel
So,
so different. It makes
yes,
me feel really
yes,
good.
yes, yes, yes. You create an atmosphere, okay, that gives you that light fragrance, okay, and then you
Yes,
just sit without thinking anything. Just close your eyes, and just be there.
right.
And that moment will be so beautiful. You're very right. I'm very, very happy. I'm very glad that you brought this. I mean, the sleep meditation is a very, very good thing. It helps
Yeah.
when people cannot sleep, all right? Even
Yes,
then
and
it helps. Rather
the
than
sleep
going for a
meditation
medical.
doesn't, yeah, and I think the sleep meditation doesn't necessarily have to be at night only because
Oh,
you can do it
yeah, yeah,
anytime
yeah.
during the day. It's
Yes,
just like
yes, yes,
meditating, and I have seen a
yes,
lot of things. It has helped me spiritually
yes,
actually,
yes,
evolve too. And
of course.
you see everything very differently after you start meditating. So
Right,
anxiety
right,
and
right.
everything, because I've had major anxiety issues, and that has
Okay.
kind of helped me take control
Hmm.
of anxiety somewhere.
Right, 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 right.
So another thing, a lot of people are talking about COVID related issues and
Yes.
depressions and anxiety. Now, another thing that is a major concern, and I wanted to ask this to you, that how does social media affect mental health? Because social media is a very huge platform. And
Yes.
yes, there's so much of news that is coming in that's secondary right now. But before COVID also,
Hmm.
there is this huge thing of youngsters, teenagers, they have stopped to accept who they are. They don't want to see
I
the
know.
person in the mirror and accept that person in the mirror. They want to see themselves with filters on, and that's who they believe
Yes.
they are.
Correct.
And I've seen so many people do this. It's not just there are so many people who just think that what is on social media is actual life, but that isn't. So
That's
I
right.
want to know from you that, how people have been affected mentally because of such social media interactions and because of social media.
I mean, this is such a wonderful question you're asking, because
Thank
yes,
you.
today there is a we are wearing masks, but there's a social mask around. We
Right.
we don't show what we really are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes I worry that people, yeah, really they've forgotten who they really are. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
first question we have to ask is, do you love yourself enough?
Mm-hmm.
To accept yourself as you are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because
Sorry,
then you
just a
want to.
minute, just a minute. I need to cut you in, but Swirly, whatever you are, please get off my chat because you don't deserve to be here if you are here to abuse. Sorry. Yeah, you can continue.
All right, all right. These are all professional lizards. Yeah.
No,
No. Yeah.
just the way
Okay.
people
ठीक है.
behave, it's bizarre
I
at
know.
times.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry for you. Anyway, so my
No.
point is that, so this is what I'm saying, that yes, I mean, you adore somebody, some personality, good, but then what you are matters. Okay. So that is your
Mm-hmm.
reality. All right. And if
Mm-hmm.
you're loving yourself that much, then you don't have to show that mask, that wear that mask and show people who you are not.
Right.
Okay. I think we are losing connection.
I am so, yes, yes, I am so sorry you're losing connection. Your
No,
video is
that's okay.
just
It's okay.
kind of hanging.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, no,
And
now
can you
fine.
please
Now I
check
can see
your
you. Now I can see you.
connection?
I'm, you're
No, but
fine.
I'm still
Now
kind of
you're fine.
losing you in between.
I'm fine now. I can see you.
Okay. Oh, my
I think it's from your side probably.
Is it fine now?
Now it's
I have
yes, yes,
switched. Is it fine now? Is the
yes,
audio and video fine now?
yes, yes.
No, I'm
Can you
just
see me?
asking them to
Am I
comment,
audible?
and I can see you. I can see you. I can see you. I
Yeah.
can hear you
Yes,
perfectly. I just want people
yes.
to just who are watching to kind of
Ah.
oh my God, what is happening on this chat right now? Uh,
Okay. Oh, nice. You're getting
okay,
lots
I
of
think
yeah.
we can
Hmm.
go ahead. I don't think there is any problem. Yeah. So talking about
Okay.
self-love and about people accepting
Yes.
themselves in terms of
Yes. Yes.
social
Not the
media.
narcissist type. Huh? Not the narcissist type. Again, there is a
Okay.
difference.
Yeah.
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 So love as you are. Okay, love as you are. Whoever, however you are.
Mhm.
You know.
Right.
But that will what that will stop you from imitating people. You know, just be
Mhm.
yourself. Just believe in yourself.
How does
Just believe in it.
one, so how does one find that strength to accept the way they are, or to kind of, yeah, accept who you are for how you are? Only then the other
It
person
goes,
will accept you.
yes, yes, I know. It goes without saying that you have to have your self-esteem high, and you
Mhm.
should feel that you are worthy, you know. And so, if somebody is going through self-esteem issues, then they need to seek help,
Mhm.
you know. And I'm not saying that just for little things you need to seek help. I'm just saying that if there is a constant, if it's a constant in your
Mhm.
life, okay, you are
Mhm.
belittling, you're judging yourself, it's constant in your life, okay, then you need to
Mhm.
understand that where you are going wrong, what is happening with
Mhm.
you. You know, you have to touch
Mhm.
base with the reality, all right, and that is very
Mhm.
important. And today, somehow,
Right.
yes, you're right. I mean, in my 21 years, I have seen people. For example, I'll just give you one example. I don't know if I'm within time. There are more questions.
No,
I'm
that's
not
fine. You can.
occupying
No,
much
no,
time, right?
no, that's fine. No, that's fine. That's fine.
So yeah. So once when in college, one boy just came very angry, and he said that I'm going to do something, to my girlfriend. And I said, what happened? And he said that we were together for 5 years, and now suddenly she's broken off, and now she's marrying somebody else. How can she do that? I mean, there were self-esteem issues. I mean, he felt
Hmm.
little, he felt insulted, that
Hmm.
how she can do this. I'll do something. And
Hmm.
I knew that he's going to do something. He's very aggressive.
Hmm.
So at that point of time, no logic would have, stopped him from going. I said,
Hmm.
so then he was looking at me for approval, So I said, we do one thing. You sit down a while. We will not
Hmm.
talk about your girlfriend. We'll talk about something else. I wanted to divert her mind. Okay, first,
Hmm.
because that is very important to intervene at that point of time. So he
Hmm. Hmm.
sat because he wanted to. He never wanted to go and do something harm. So he wanted to
Hmm.
sit and he sat. And then we spoke about
Hmm.
everything but the girlfriend. And then
Hmm. Hmm.
afterwards, 10 minutes, I said, was it worth it? If she's not into you, even if you'll kidnap her, you'll do something, is she going to be yours? No,
Hmm. True.
and what were you doing? Right? So that's the thing.
Hmm.
So when you have high self-esteem, when you feel yourself worthy of something, all right,
Hmm. Hmm.
then
Hmm.
that then you love yourself more,
True,
right?
because the way you treat yourself, the other person treats you.
Yes, absolutely,
If you don't
absolutely.
respect yourself, the other person will not respect you.
Not respect you, and these are your
Yeah.
vulnerabilities which you're showing to others.
Showing,
You
and
know,
they
yes,
I mean, they consciously or sometimes they don't do it
and
intentionally, but then they just
yes,
kind of take you for granted because of your
correct. Or they
weaknesses.
might take advantage of it. They might take
Right,
advantage because now they know
right,
where you are vulnerable. Okay,
right,
so
right.
we have to be careful. We have to love ourselves first.
So now we have another one here about depression. What is depression? How do we know what another person, if a person is going through depression, how do we know that? And how can we help?
Yeah. See, depression is actually low mood, but on and off we do feel depressed, right? I mean, on and off we do feel low. I mean, it's
Right.
okay. Sometimes, but when your thoughts start controlling, when you don't have
Hmm.
control over your thoughts, and when
Hmm.
your
Hmm, hmm.
thoughts start controlling you, that's when you need intervention. Okay.
Right.
It could be, depression could be due to genetic issues, due to families, due to your environment. These days, lots of things happening, in and around
Hmm.
everywhere. So,
Hmm.
but then if your thoughts are controlling you and you are not in control of your thoughts, then you need to have that intervention. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
And you need to go seek, an appointment. You seek help. You need to talk about it.
Hmm.
Right.
So, like if we have someone in our circle or someone in our family who is probably depressed, how could we help the other person, that person?
Yeah. See, you will come to know when the person starts withdrawing from social circumstances, from social relations.
Right, right.
He seems listless. He seems disinterested in everything, in his
Mm-hmm.
surroundings. Okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
he's not eating well. He's not sleeping well. Okay. And he isolates himself, from everybody. That's when
Hmm.
what you can do, you can't just say that you go and seek help, right? Because he doesn't want to talk about it. Okay.
Right.
But you have to just, whether he's your father, mother, brother, sister, or a friend, you have to just
Hmm.
be there with that person. After a while, he might just open up and talk about it, what he's going
But what
through.
if they are not ready to tell us anything and also do not want to accept the fact that they are depressed?
Yeah, that's what happens. That's exactly what happens, because they do not want to accept. They say that this is my personality. So we have to see. We have
Hmm.
to keep a check. Although
Hmm.
I do not want to take out this subject, but we have to keep a check on that person.
Hmm.
One has to be with that person all the time, because depression also leads to self harm. Okay. So
Right.
we have to be with that person. Okay. And we
Hmm.
don't have to pressurize him. As and when he feels ready,
Hmm.
then he'll come around and he'll talk about it. But we cannot keep that person alone. We have to be with that person. Somebody has to
Okay.
be with that person. If you feel that it's clinical depression, okay, if it's just one
Hmm. Hmm.
offish, I mean, just like that. I mean, for example, if someone loses someone, then obviously, he
Hmm.
will feel depressed. Okay.
Hmm.
Or say the exam, he's failed the exam, right? Or
Hmm.
there's somebody job loss or something, right? Some financial big
Hmm.
loss or something. Then
Hmm.
they do need intervention. But if it is
Hmm.
one offish, means just a little while, then we
Hmm.
don't have to label that person. Okay. But
Right.
if it continues for 6 months and above, okay, if it continues for
Hmm.
more, longer than 6 months, then they
Hmm.
definitely need it, because we can't continue helping that person without, seeking help.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of questions regarding anger issues. People are saying I am short-tempered, I get angry really fast, and sometimes I'm just, blasting people and saying rude things to them without literally meaning whatever I'm saying.
Yeah.
Or there were other questions saying that, sometimes I get really angry, but
Hmm.
when I am about to speak, I start crying.
Hmm.
So why does this happen? Is it because the emotions are bottled up? Is it because of that, or why do people react like this?
See, number one, I want to just say that anger in a healthy form is healthy. For example, when you are angry, some sort of anger is required to save ourselves. Okay, you can't
Hmm.
just, wait till someone comes and slaps you. Okay, some sort of
Hmm.
anger is required, healthy anger.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
But the type of anger which you're talking about, okay, it could be inward or it could be outward. Okay.
Hmm.
Sometimes, we, like the person who's saying that I cry, that's an inward anger. Now, there are
Hmm.
three types of kind of aggression and anger. One is passive. So passive people, they feel anger, but they're not able to voice out. Okay. Then there is assertive. Now assertiveness, where what happens? They're able to be there, explain, listen to what the other person is saying, and sort out issues. Okay. And the third one is aggression. You will absolutely contempt. I'll be angry but when the anger turns violent, okay, when it turns violent, like we hear cases about, spousal abuses and everything, that's again when you need intervention. You need anger management classes. Okay, you need to go for anger management. But the person who's saying that he immediately starts crying, that means he's not able to voice out, or he's not able to talk about, or not able to kind of tell that person, that why is this and why you are doing this. Either it could be, supposing if his or her father, for example, right? I mean, you can't just, in our society, there are some norms, you can't just talk back. Okay. Right. You can, but not every time. Okay. Right. So then the anger remains inside. Then you go in your room and then you cry, because you can't really tell your father, right, to whatever. Okay. So then you go to your room. So I would like to understand the situation first. I do not want to kind of label it into something. But what was the situation where he felt angry, but he could not express it, and he cried? Was it because the senior person was angry, or was the teacher angry? Was the anger was justified and he felt guilty? What was it?
So again, it is situational.
It is situational, because we do not know what situation he faced, right? I mean, what was it that he felt angry, but he could not express it, and he started crying? All right. Right. But I think he should confide with somebody, a close person, and talk about it. Or he should just write it down.
Correct. I've even one thing about, when you are not being able to talk about something, or you are really angry and you do not want to hurt the other person. So what I have practiced doing is, typing a message, whatever I wanted to say, without filtering any of my words. I type it out and I delete it, because it's like I've already said it to that person and it's now out of my system. And whoever is around me, I kind of suggest the same thing, because it really works for me.
Yes.
If you are not being, it's better than bottling up your feelings and the emotions inside, and then, it comes out in a very different way later.
Yes. And I would also like to suggest here that you write it down, crumple the paper, and throw it in the garbage.
Throw it.
That's it. Yes. You're done with your anger, for some time.
Yeah. True. So another question, moreover, was about overthinking. Because of this pandemic, we are all at home. Because of the lockdown, we cannot step out, and it gives us a lot more time. We're not going to school, colleges, and we are working from home. So it gives us a lot of time to think about nothing, or maybe to make up our own stories and invite trouble. So how can we avoid overthinking during this time?
Right. Now, see, overthinking is used, this term, particular term is used for the negative event or emotions going into loop. Okay. When you are continuously thinking about the same thing, okay, when it just it's just happening continuously, as you are mentioning that social media and COVID and things like that, right? So you have to check yourself, all right, that, okay, so now this overthinking is for what? What am I doing? Is this, why am I being so negative? What is happening? Okay. And is it rational? Okay. Is it rational? What I'm thinking is my irrational fear, which is coming to fore. All right. So what is happening? Is it happening because, my belief system is irrational? It's not allowing me, and that's why the consequences, right? So what is it that is the activating event, for example, right? What has triggered the overthinking? And that needs to be kind of understood. Okay. So, and irrational, this thing. Okay. Is it rational? Kind of.
Right. Also wanted to know about parent and child relation. So a lot of parents, they think that they are, of course, they care for their children and everything, but they also kind of get too imposing about what they feel and what they want on the children, and they don't kind of give the child, that
Yeah.
liberty of choosing to do what they actually want to do of the way they
Right.
feel.
Right.
So how does this,
Right.
how can a parent understand a child better?
Right. This is a bit long answer. Can I give
No
this?
problem.
I mean, if you have
No
time,
problem.
yeah. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
we human beings, we operate, our behavior operates through three ego states. Okay, one is
Hmm.
parent ego state. I'll explain. Another is
No problem.
adult, and third
Hmm.
is child. Okay, if you, I mean,
Hmm.
viewers can go to this thing and they read about it on Google TA. You know, it's all about that. So, what my point,
Hmm.
I'm trying to make this point is that parent ego state, where when I'm in my parent ego state, these are my learned values from parents, like moral values and
Correct.
kind of
Hmm.
language and everything. Okay, so
Hmm. Hmm.
like for example, if what I do with my children, I don't know,
Hmm.
it is coming from my parents. Okay,
Correct.
like you're
Hmm.
getting me. So
Yes.
if my parents were saying, "Oh, you can't wear skimpy clothes," and then I have imbibed those values, and then I will say,
Hmm.
oh my God, why are you wearing these clothes?" So there is a
Hmm.
connection, okay, in parent ego
Correct.
state. Now what happens
Hmm.
is, when and as an adult, for example,
Hmm.
I'm again losing you, huh? So when
I think
this must be happening.
there is a
Now fine,
network
now
issue.
I'm fine,
If,
I'm fine, my network is fine.
yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is, now what happens is, when the parent interacts with the child from his parent ego, and when the
Hmm.
child is at an adult level, all right. So
Hmm.
parent and adult, it becomes cross transaction, right?
Hmm.
There's a cross
Hmm.
connection. It is not a complementary. For example, if I say that,
Hmm.
"How do you like my shirt?" and you say, "Oh, this is fine." It's an adult to
Hmm.
adult response. Okay.
Right.
But if you say, "Oh my God, what have you worn? This is all here." That means your response was not appropriate to what I was expecting. All right. So
Hmm.
these are all learned values which a parent learns. And I always tell my
Hmm.
clients, they when they come to me for what is good parenting, they come to me and say that, what is, even parents, see, now children, they have issues, but even parents, they feel that somewhere they are going wrong. Okay. So
Hmm.
bichara, they come to me and say that, what is good parenting and what is bad parenting? Please teach us. Okay.
Hmm.
So I tell
Hmm.
them, give them only one answer, that, for the most important, this thing, we don't have training institutes. Parenting ke liye, there is no training institute.
Right.
All right. So we
Hmm.
have to just understand our children. We have to have dialogues with them. Okay. Don't just be a
Hmm.
parent. Okay.
Right.
Just sometimes be a friend too. Okay. Sit with them. Enjoy what they're enjoying. Okay. Anything, music or whatever, anything.
Hmm.
Just enjoy what they're enjoying and make them feel wanted. Okay. Not every time do's and
Right.
don'ts. Okay. Make them
Right.
feel that they can, because the line of communication, if you'll keep the line of communication open, then they will also come with the issues. All right.
Right. Right. If you're always kind of being saying no or being negative
Yeah.
in approach, then
Yes.
I don't think the
Yes.
child would also want to come and share anything with
Yes.
you.
Yes. Yes. And that's why I had lots of students coming to me that we can't talk to our parents in
Right.
college. They used to come to me and talk about it, you know, and they used to feel so good. They would just vent out that this is what,
Hmm.
my parents were saying, and there's a platform where they can come and talk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So, someone asked how to accept ignorance by loved ones.
Do they know that you feel that they're ignoring you? That is number one. Sometimes these are
I think that
assumptions.
person feels ignored. That is why they've asked that, how
Yeah.
do I accept ignorance?
Yeah. So then in that case, see, it's like this. If it's the family, all right.
Hmm.
And then you have to first, what you need to do is, don't you love yourself first? Okay. You need to love yourself first. All right. So that, you don't feel the need for that particular, there is a test. Okay. And in that test, we actually test the love junkies. Means people who are in need of love, people who are in need of approval, people who are in need of so many things, right? I'm not saying that this particular person is in need of love. Okay. But my point is that if he or she feels that he or she is being ignored by their family members, there has to be some root cause to it, right? Either I have seen that many times, the middle child feels that way, because the first child is always given importance, last again is, and the middle children. In fact, I was thinking of doing a thesis on it. So if this person is a middle child, okay, because birth position also matters, all right? It matters a lot. Okay, so we do not exactly know why they are ignoring this particular person. Okay, even the prince of England, Prince Harry, feels that he's being ignored, right? So to what extent, why they are ignoring, that needs to be explored, right? So without, either he feels and he needs to go to a
Without
counselor.
knowing that, yeah.
So go to a counselor, na? Talk about it. Okay,
Talk about it, right.
fine, understand, right?
Another question is, sometimes I feel anxious suddenly and feel like something terrible is going to happen, which also affects my sleep.
So have you gone through any traumatic experience? And so what are the triggers? That first thing we have to see.
So they
But
have to
but
ask
again,
themselves these
if they have
questions.
intermittent, if it's affecting the sleep also, that's why I'm saying that what if, has he gone through, or he or she has gone through any trauma? Okay, why suddenly? Because normally what happens is that something like this happens during the daytime. So, I mean, you're anxious and everything, and in sleep, or they're getting dreams. Okay, sometimes the traumatic dreams also, they wake you up. Now, what are dreams? The dreams are the manifestation of whatever has happened in your life.
Correct.
Okay, during the day. All right, so they are sometimes they are symbolic, sometimes they are prophetic. We feel that somebody is saying that something is going to happen. So it is very important for me to know, that as a counselor, that what is it that's keeping her so anxious, that she during sleep she just wakes up. It is not normal. All right. Now, if it is again one-offish, then I'm not worried. But if it is repeatedly
But if it's
happening,
a regular,
continue.
then
If it's
he
a regular
definitely
thing,
needs
then then
counseling.
then then she needs help. Yeah,
He or she. Yeah.
he or she.
I have
Yes.
multiple breakdowns almost every day, and how should I feel better?
This again is now breakdown in the sense that what is happening? You're crying a
What
lot.
kind of
Okay, what kind? If you're crying a lot, then it could be a transient depression. Okay,
what is that?
that needs transient in the sense that it comes and goes. It's a very temporary kind of a thing,
Okay.
right? So temporary
Okay.
depression means you are feeling low. You're not very, you're not, so you're feeling low. It's a transient thing. Fine. Now, once it goes, then you're okay. Okay. So that needs to be checked out. That what is this breakdown all about? Always, also, many times. In fact, most 90% of the time I've seen that if there is a relationship issue, if you have felt rejected by your boyfriend or girlfriend, if you feel, or if that person has moved on with somebody else, then the trauma is more. Then you feel that you are not worthy. Then you feel that you belittle yourself. You start judging yourself that why he had to go, why she had to go, right? So this feeling of rejection also, gives this kind of a breakdown, because continuous breakdown means the crying bouts are happening, right? Now, when the crying bouts happen, then either you are depressed, or you feel rejected by someone, and you want that person to pay. So you are basically seeking attention. all right?
Hmm.
You're seeking attention, okay? Isn't it? You want someone to notice, all right, that you are in
Yeah, that
this
is
mood
where
and
the
what,
breakdown.
that how you are, isn't it? So that is very
Hmm.
important.
How to not feel guilty about speaking your mind out and doing what you actually want.
If what you have spoken, if you stand by it, if you feel that what you said was correct, then you stand by what you said.
Hmm.
Once you start explaining yourself, that means you didn't stand by. That means you had doubts.
Correct.
Okay? So if you feel that what I said was correct, then fine. Again,
Actually, this
it should
also
not
is
be in a
something that
hurtful way.
true, but for people who have
Yeah.
always been suppressed and who have been,
Yeah.
been controlled by a lot of people, it's very tough to make that first step of, going forward and doing the things that you actually want to do and actually want to say, like voicing out your opinions and putting forth to them what you feel. So that first step, how does one take that first step? What kind of, how do you get that courage to do that?
That for that you need to come for sessions for self-esteem. Because
Okay.
it doesn't just come overnight, right? I mean, you have
Right,
to
right.
first understand yourself. Like, for
It
example,
slowly
public
happens.
speaking. Okay, it's public. For example, public speaking. Okay, now so many people,
Hmm.
in fact, many. I've seen even corporate, this thing, CEOs. They are very good with the
Hmm.
word, but they are not able
Yeah.
to talk about it. So I had a workshop in college, and first thing the first question I asked was that what had happened that you are
Hmm.
not able to, because from childhood, so we can't learn all these things, right? Isn't it?
Hmm.
So what had happened? That is either your parents are too controlling, why you are not able to
Hmm.
speak up. Okay, you've
Hmm. Hmm.
remained in that controlled environment. It happens, right? I mean, we can't choose our
Hmm.
parents. Okay, so we are not able to talk about it. If my father is
Hmm.
very controlling, sometimes I'm very sorry. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but yes, I've seen
Hmm.
abuses with children. All right, I've
Yeah.
seen parents, they beat children, they don't give food, they say
Right.
they take away the privileges, phones and everything. So when there is fear, when the fear is
I'm
inculcated
so
in
sorry to
children.
cut you here.
Yeah.
I think the winds are getting a little stronger. I'll just shut the place and come.
Yes, yes,
I'm so
sure, sure,
sorry. I'm
sure,
so
sure.
sorry.
No, not an issue.
Whoa. Whoa. Uh, I think we're going to be
Yeah,
expecting a
it's,
storm. So,
yes, yes, it is cyclone. Yeah,
yeah. So
yeah.
that, yeah.
So
I
when
think
the,
that has all about
yes,
started, I
yes.
think.
You are
So
safe.
the winds are really, really strong right
Yeah,
now. I had to
I'm.
push my door.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. We were talking about speaking out your
Not able to
mind,
stand up. Mind, yeah.
right?
So
So
there are
so for
multiple
that you
factors.
need counseling. You need sessions for
You know why? It's not, yeah, yeah.
self-esteem.
Self-esteem. And
Right.
after a couple of sessions, no, you'll start feeling better. You'll start
Hmm.
feeling, because this entitlement is missing. That person
Hmm.
is not feeling entitled for everything, because they have been
Right.
raised that way, isn't it?
Right.
So
Right.
right. So sometimes if you can't speak up, every time I'm saying this, because I want
Hmm.
to drive home the point that if it is one-offish, no problem. We don't label.
Hmm.
But if it is
Hmm.
continuous, okay, if a life script, okay,
Hmm.
then one has to be careful. Then one has to seek help. And there's no stigma.
Hmm.
Okay, you can go take a couple of sessions, and then you can kind of help yourself
Yeah.
basically.
So the first thing, actually, most important thing is taking sessions for self-esteem and self-confidence, and that's where everything, from there, everything improves and gets better.
Yes,
Correct?
yes, yes.
Another thing here is How to deal with hurtful things said to each other during a fight which gets stuck in the head. This is like a couple thing.
Couple thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Three C's are very important. Communicate. Okay, communication is very important. Even if you are like, one very elderly couple used to come to me, and they used to say that when we used to have argument, we argue a lot. Lots of. Once we enter the bedroom, we forget everything. Okay. So communication is the key to everything. Then compromise. Okay. You need to compromise. Now you're a couple. Now if you are not a married couple, then it's another thing. Okay. You're just in a relationship. You're just dating. Then also these things apply. But of course, thing which I spoke earlier will not apply. Or maybe, I don't know. So my point is that, so communication and commitment. Okay. When you are committed in this relationship, then this communication and compromise, both these things will justify. You'll be able to justify. By that, I'm not saying you give in. I'm saying you discuss. Hurtful things are...
So communication is always key to resolve any issue.
Isn't it? We can't be just hunky-dory all the time. It's boring. In fact, there is a survey. There was a survey and there was a research. The couples who fight, they live longer together happy. Because then you get you get to vent out what you feel.
You vent out everything, yeah.
Isn't it?
Correct.
So communicate, compromise, and commit to the relationship. You'll be fine.
How to overcome post-traumatic disorder, and is it a major illness?
See, I do not want to name illness, but if it is post-traumatic, yes, the person needs to take help. I had gone to Bhuj for the earthquake, this thing, and yes, it needs medication and help. Yeah, they need to go to a psychiatrist.
Sorry.
Yes. No.
Why do I cry in my sleep? Someone asks.
Yeah. So again, we are coming back to the same. Are there dreams? Are you dreaming, or why you are crying?
So it depends on what they are going through.
It depends on what is happening, right? So that's what. Your net is fine. Your net is fine, no?
My net is fine. Your audio is fine.
Yes.
For me, your video is kind of lagging.
It's lagging? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's breaking in between.
So I should slow down a bit then?
No, it's fine. It's fine. For me, I'm getting the video fine. So this is going to be saved on Instagram. So they can watch it again. They can watch it whenever.
Okay.
All right. So is bulimia nervosa a mental disorder?
Yes. It falls under clinical side of this. It's a clinical psychology subject. So I would not like to comment much on it, but I think if it is continuing again, then yes, it needs to. It is an excessive eating disorder. So
excessive eating, and then you go and throw up.
Yes, right. So
because
you go and throw.
You guilt of eating so much.
Correct. Like the lady Diana, she had this.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is, of course, due to a lot of stress and everything, but it needs to be cured, right? You need to be cured for this, right? So it needs. So he or she needs to go to a psychiatrist, because they will be able to help, and medication again. They'll be able to give medications and therapy, right? For this.
What should I do when people around me don't understand why I'm feeling low?
They don't understand because you've not spoken about it. If you're feeling low, then what is it that is? What do you want them to understand? For example, what is it what is happening? Are they piling you with work, or it is an office scenario? It is at home. What is it they don't understand?
Maybe a home scenario. It you want to work upon? A home scenario.
Home scenario. So again, are there any differences? What is happening? If they don't understand you, that means there is a communication gap. Is it a generation gap? There is a lot of, or he or she feels that some other sibling is being favored over her,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So that we need to understand. See, sometimes what happens is that there are no, see, in medicine, when you talk to a medical professional, they say that for stomachache you take this medicine, for headache you take this medicine. But for us, we need to understand the root cause of it, right?
Right.
So one line we do not understand why exactly. We need to talk in sessions, that what is it you feel that you are not being understood. Okay,
So someone else asks, natural foods, any food that can boost our mood?
go to your nutritionist. She's the better person to answer. Otherwise, they'll catch
Okay.
me that why did you say this?
Why did you say that?
No,
Okay,
it's
there's
not my
another,
domain.
there's a cancer survivor who says that she's been
Mhm,
on a painkiller medication for a long time because of
mhm,
the medical history. And now she's addicted to this medicine, the painkiller. How
mhm,
can she get rid of it?
mhm. Right, right. So this is palliative care counseling. So what I would advise is that there are, I go to Tata Hospital for to see cancer patients. So
Mm-hmm.
there are lot of support groups, and if she feels that she's addicted to medicines, then I think she needs to go there or talk to somebody there. It's a beautiful setup. Tata Hospital, they have social workers and they have counselors. I am part of that, of a foundation where we go there and counsel cancer patients. So she needs to find
Mm-hmm.
out about the support groups, because this is
Mm-hmm.
an addiction. Okay, if it is a lifelong, because some medicines are lifelong. Okay, if they are lifelong,
Mm-hmm.
then you tend to get addicted. If it is not, then why you are addicted? So there are support
Mm-hmm.
groups, and you need to go there, talk to people there, and find out. It's a beautiful setup, and they will answer your calls.
Okay.
Okay, so I would just
Um,
request that. I'm very sorry for again. I'm very sorry to hear that you are a cancer conqueror, the person who's written this. Okay, but we
mhm.
should never lose. Okay, you are a conqueror, you're a survivor. Okay, and we are with you.
Yes. So how do we calm someone who is having a panic attack? I'm very sure that it doesn't help to say calm down.
No,
It
no, it
never
doesn't
helps.
help at all. No, it never helps. It never helps. See, if you,
Yeah. So
for
how do
example,
we calm a
this
person down?
particular thing, only that person can help himself or herself, because he or she knows that
Okay.
what is happening with that person, right?
So is
So
it the
first
best
of
way
all,
to help the person is to just back up, to just give
no,
them their
when
space?
the person is not into therapy, okay, when the person is
Hmm.
not going to any counselor, when the person is
Hmm.
treating oneself at home, this
Hmm.
panic attack, I mean, as you say that you're calming down, but that at that moment, person cannot calm down. Okay, then
Hmm.
what would he do? Okay,
Hmm.
so he needs to pick up the phone, all right, and talk to someone at that point of time. Just break the chain.
Hmm.
All right,
No,
now
what
how
if
how
the
do you do
person
it?
is not going through counseling at that point
Yeah,
of time and is having a
no,
panic
that's what I'm saying.
attack?
That's what I'm saying. So I had a very good, I don't know where I've kept it, but I had the stress ball. This
Okay,
yes. So this
the
helps.
smiley ball.
Again,
Okay.
I'm not promoting this product. Huh? I'm just showing, because I give this to my clients. Okay, when they have,
Okay,
I say that you just press it when you are going
okay,
this panic attack. At least you have some tool in your hand. Okay, some tool
right.
you have. Okay, that you are holding on to it. Okay, if you are
Mm-hmm.
outside somewhere and if you feel that something is happening, that's when
Mm-hmm.
you have to be stand still. You sit down somewhere. Okay, and call someone. Let that someone come and
Mm-hmm.
pick you up. But if you are at home, use this, okay, and immediately talk to somebody close by. If somebody is there in your family, talk to them. And if you feel
Mm-hmm.
that it is still not going, then you start, you know, I give beats to my clients. Okay.
Okay.
It,
So
it
you chant?
remove your attention. It will be a switch off from what you're
Okay, yeah.
feeling to
Switch.
something else. So break the chain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You have to break that moment, because flooding
Mm.
of emotions and thoughts giving you panic attacks. Okay, you're
Correct.
flooded with thoughts and emotions. How will you break it if
Mm.
you're at home? So do some activity which would break. Puzzle, Sudoku, okay? Lots of games on the phone. Just try to do those.
Okay.
And if it still continues, then you need to seek professional help.
A question here is talking to ourselves considered normal?
Yes, you'll
I
be
talk to myself
surprised.
a lot.
Yeah, that's what. These are inner dialogues, okay? But again, there should not be clinical diagnosis. It should not be verbal diarrhea kind of thing, okay? So and we call it self-talk, okay? It is very important. We all talk, okay? These are inner dialogues. But when there is a clinical diagnosis, it's a different thing. But if you just talk to yourself, okay, just tell yourself that I don't want to be my talks as evaluative. I don't want to judge myself in those talks. If those talks are toxic for us, okay, or sensitive talks that you feel sorry for yourself, and just healthy talking is fine, okay. And even if you are evaluative and sensitive about talking, every day it's an exercise. Every day, morning and evening, 15 minutes, you self-talk consciously and write it down, okay, and then see how many are evaluating, how many were sensitives, and then work towards it.
What does one do when they are character shamed as a teenage girl?
See, if it bothers you, then again you need to talk to somebody counselor, because character shame is something, it is more towards your integrity, your dignity.
Yes.
Somebody is actually attacking you with that certificate in the society, right? And again, we don't know the reason why that has happened. Now, it is these days what is happening is that in younger crowd, they feel left out, that I am not fitting into this crowd, and they move around with people. For example, clubbing and everything, and post pictures on social media. And because of that, if someone's giving that impression, okay, then you have to go and, kind of talk to that person, okay, if you feel that you are not in the wrong, okay. Because so many people are, kind of going out, clubbing, posting pictures and everything. And if someone's just assuming, that this particular girl or a boy is this and that,
There's a
then
lot
we
of
have to
assumptions
a
that
lot of
people
assumption
make
and
out of,
perceptions.
yeah,
Yes. So how many people you will go and correct? Okay. So we have
correct.
to strengthen again ourselves. I have to love myself. Again, we are coming back to the same thing. Okay.
Yeah.
What do I think about that character shaming? Do I also agree? Why is it bothering me? Why am I not able to ignore? Okay. Those are the questions one must ask oneself. Okay.
Another question, just two more questions. The second last question is, we see a lot
Yes.
of hate accounts on social media nowadays spreading only negativity and lies. Their mind is filled
Right.
with hatred. What does it say about them?
See, there is only one thing. There is power of one. I can change myself. I cannot change others.
Correct.
Right? So again, it's our choice. I can change myself. I
No,
cannot
no, no, no.
change others.
No. It is not that. It is what does it say about them? Are they doing it because of insecurity? Are they doing it because they
Now,
are
just we,
they have? I'm sorry.
no. Continue, please.
No, the question was, what does it say about them? Because all they do is hide behind an account. They don't have a personality on social media. So all they do is spread negativity. And, what does it say about them? Does it say that they are insecure from within, or does it say that
See,
they have some issues which they cannot address? That's why they are making it others' problems.
what are we doing here? We are judging. we are assuming, we are perceiving. Okay. Now, if that person is doing all these things and he needs attention, then he will go to a counselor, right? So in counseling, there is nothing good or bad, right? There is nothing good
So
or bad.
this is all being, so this is done for attention, to gain attention.
You know, for anything, right? But we don't know them. Like, for example, if when couple comes to me, I say, wife comes and says something and husband comes and says something. I say, see, for me, you both are equal. All right. I don't know you. So I don't know people who are writing. Why they are writing. These days, you open and there's so many things happening. But who am I to judge them? It is their lookout. Okay. Half of our worries stem from the fact that we worry too much about others. Am I doing that? Am I being negative? No. Then I'm safe. Let them do what they want to do. One day, if you have faith in somebody and if they're doing something wrong, it will catch up with them. Isn't it? If they are doing wrong. So again, we are not judging.
The basic thing is you again choose whether you want to give them attention or you don't.
There are all choices between it. And once we choose, we take the responsibility and ownership, of whatever. For example, if I choose to listen to those people who are negative and to have those opinions about it, then be it, then let it be. Then you choose to be sad. Okay, then you choose to be sad, you choose to kind of judge them, you choose. If it is affecting you, okay, yes. If it is personalized, if it is something, somebody is telling you, those media, those people are putting something negative about you, you have to stand up for that. Okay, but if it is not happening that way, then let it be. Just let it pass. Just remain safe and healthy. That's it.
Okay, the last question is how to deal with a loss of loved one, especially during this time.
Yeah, I can relate to this. I've just lost somebody very dear to me.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Very dear. Yeah. Yes, it's tough. It's tough.
Because a lot of people are losing
it's
a
not
lot
that.
of their loved ones.
It is this that in life you did not have time to talk to them. All right, you say that I will talk now, I'll talk tomorrow, I'll talk, and then we are gone, and there is no way you can talk to them. Okay.
Right.
But what I have started doing is my own personal this thing, because the person himself herself have gone through. I have, for example, I've lost my uncle, and I'm talking to my aunt every day. That way I'm remaining closer.
You're trying to make
the
up
memories. Memories of I'm keeping those memories alive. I make it a habit to pick up the phone and talk to her every day. And probably after this course is over, then I might as well call her, to stay with her for a few days. So I know it's very tough in these times, are very, very traumatic for everybody, each one of us.
Yes. Do we have any questions? Do we have any questions by any of the viewers that you want to answer? Because
I'm seeing, please now, what is it? Who's writing? And
I
what does
lost
she
my mother
want?
and I am depressed. How one will motivate himself when there is no one to talk?
I know.
How can one motivate himself or can speak when
I
they
would
have no
just
one
put
to
it this
talk?
way, that it's a very, very close loss. I have lost my, if we go to talk about it, I lost my father when I was 15. I lost my mother when I was pregnant with my son. So I have gone through two losses. It is tough. And there is no way you can motivate yourself. You have to process this grief, either, through the good memories which you had with them, all right,
Mm-hmm.
or by volunteer. Like for example, I lost my mother in cancer, but I'm volunteering
Oh,
with
I'm
her
so
cancer.
sorry.
Yes. So that's why I'm volunteering with them. When I talk to cancer patients, I feel so close to my mother. So I do not know
Mm.
how you've lost your mom. I'm very sorry for your loss. Very sorry. Because I know the pain. I can totally relate to this. So, like how I have kept myself, um, sane by helping out and reaching out to cancer patients, because that time I was not even a counselor. I did not
Mm.
know. She spoke about it so many times that, am I going? Is it happening? I was not one. That's why palliative care I did,
Mm.
end of life care. So this is how I've kept myself closer to my mom. And you must also do something like that. That whatever your mom liked, whatever your mom wanted to do, you can
Right.
spend time in that field and you can feel closer to that person.
Right. I am so sorry I missed out on a topic which I had noted down, and it was something that we also need to shed some light on, as there are so many new mothers now during COVID, and
Mm.
postpartum depression is something that not everyone is aware of, especially to new mothers, and they don't know, they get to know it later. So, can you talk about postpartum depression? Because that happens
I
to
went through
new
them.
mothers.
Yes, 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 I went through this. I was a working mother. See, what happens is
Hmm.
there is an imbalance in hormones, okay, as
Right.
it is, pregnancy, right? So
Hmm.
it is all very overwhelming,
Hmm.
for a new mother. If it is a first time mother, then it's all the more, because it's
Hmm.
it's it's so overwhelming. I was so overwhelmed that there was a problem in lactating my child. Okay.
Hmm.
And that's when you know that you're going through something, but you don't know, because at that point of time even I did not know what is happening.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, I used to walk on the road, and I used to, because I was working. So after three
Hmm.
months, I had to go to work, and somehow I used to feel lost. Where am I? I was so, I mean, the palpitations and everything would start. I don't know what symptoms new mothers, whoever is written, is going through, but I can only share my experiences. So this is very normal and natural, the
Hmm.
postpartum depression, right? It will clear away.
What is
It will clear
postpartum
away within.
depression?
Yeah, it is an imbalance in hormones, emotional
That
overwhelming,
happens
right?
after
And
delivery.
when coping skills are low, your coping skills are low.
Hmm.
Your sleeping times are kind of haywire, goes
Correct.
haywire, or when you're kind of running after your in relationship with your husband. After some time you have to resume your relationship,
Hmm.
right? That also goes
Hmm.
haywire. Your body changes, all right?
Hmm.
So there's so many things, it overwhelms you, that now I am not looking
Right.
many times, I'm not looking
Right.
attractive. You look in the front of the
Hmm.
see in the front of the mirror, and you feel that, oh my god, now what is it? Because that's the only thing that keeps two people together, right? I mean, you feel that way.
Hmm.
It's not like that. Okay.
Hmm.
So it is the imbalance, that gives. But it, again, once the time passes, then it
Hmm.
covers it. But you have to speak to the gynecologist. If she's going through this,
Hmm.
when she goes for the next visit,
Hmm.
she should talk to the
Hmm.
gynae, and she will have kind of
Hmm.
answers to this, or the medication she will prescribe.
All right. So I guess we have covered a lot from different,
Lot.
different categories, be it
I hope
relationship
all your
with
viewers
between.
are, they have, I know.
Yes, yes, I'm sure they will love it because this is a chat that stays here, and the entire series will also be on YouTube. So it will be,
Okay.
it's a very useful live and a lot of
Yes. Yes.
information. So I'm sure
Yes. Yes.
that they will love this live. And I hope this also helps a lot of people who asked questions. And for those who would want, a little boost of esteem, self-esteem, and self-confidence,
Yes. Yes.
I suggest you take counseling from any of your psychologists, any of your counselors,
Yes.
and that
Yes.
will help you to take any next step further, so that it will help you
Yes.
as an individual in the long run. And
Absolutely.
for others who are just going through the situation right now, just try to ease in and try to make your environment positive. So
Yes.
that's all,
Yes.
and
I'm
thank you
sure
so very much
you are
for
doing a
answering all
wonderful
the
job, Erika.
questions.
Really, you're
Thank you,
so
thank
wonderful.
you,
Wonderful.
thank you
And
so
thank you
much.
so very much for having me here. And thanks to
Oh
your
no, that's
viewers
a
also.
pleasure.
I was really, I hope that they've gotten all the answers. All right.
I
But
hope so
I
too.
truly enjoyed this. Yes. All right.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so very much.
Thank you so
Yes. Good
much.
night.
Bye bye. Good night.